Hello everybody, my name is Toxic Warrior and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing a video on the latest quest released to Generation 5, the Zeinova region. If we take a look in quest log here, it's called Fossil Frenzy. So we have to start in Sandgate. If you take a look here, we have some interesting rewards. Upon completion, you get either a cover fossil or the plume fossil. For those that don't know, cover fossil correlates to the Tirtouga, and plume fossil correlates to Archen. So at the end, you'll get one of those two. You also get some tokens, coins, trainer experience. The cosmetic here is the Chancy Skull hat, which I'm wearing the shiny version of it. Oops. Which one is it? That one. This is the Chancy Skull hat. It's shiny. The regular one is just beige. And the mystery item is a thick club, an item used on Marowak or Cubone to boost its attack. But let's head to Sandgate. We had to go to the excavation site. Talk to archaeologist Frank right here. I will also state right now that to get either the Archen or Tirtouga, you need to either win or lose against the NPC called Harrison, who you will see later in the video. So if you win against that NPC, you set yourself up to get the Tirtouga at the end of the quest. If you lose against him, you will get the Archen. I say that because the quest doesn't specifically state that. It's a quest that is made to focus on your choices. Basically, it's made to... it is made so that choices matter in a sense. Where actually that's really the only choice that does anything for you rewards-wise. But there are other options that you can follow in the quest. Not everyone will take the same path in this quest. I will point out those deviations as we come to them, though. We'll head over to the construction bridge here. Hello, construction worker. And if you've been following along with any of the last quest videos, this again is a quest made by me. So, be harsh, give comments, give feedback. It was definitely interesting making this quest. Oh, and if you've been following for a little bit, this is the quest I've been referencing in some of the other videos. It's weird. So, for those of you that aren't paying attention, you just jump off the bridge, go straight, look for the beacon at the boat, go down, and there's the cover fossil. And yes, it's a leather helmet. Bedrock makes things a little interesting in terms of giving items like that. Pokemon for this quest that you will battle will all be level 50 if I remember correctly. And you have a +5 to that. So any Pokemon you use will be level 55 if they're above that level. If they're below level 55, then they'll be whatever that level is. Oh yes, hidden power grass. You know, I made this quest and I forget some of the things that I did for it. Because I knew it'd be fun using hidden power grass. Doesn't matter though. I took the team I'm using now, and that was my test team when I was making the quest, so. I pretty much know that anything in any battle that I made here works for most people. And even then, I didn't beef up stats too much. I think even making it level 55 was a little generous. But for the higher level players, it's quite an easy quest. As you can see, Alakazam is just sweeping this. Which makes sense, it's all water types. And the final Pokemon is Water Fire. So, yeah. This quest was in the process of being made before the Watertown Bay Wharf came out, or was it even designed. So this was meant to be the initial introduction to anniversary Pokemon being used in quests and allowing anniversary Pokemon to be used in quests by players. But the Bay Wharf quest came out and the anniversary quest came out before then. So that changed a little bit, but this is the first real quest that uses them. All the other quests have been kind of mini quests. But being that I made this, I ran through it a lot of times. The general runtime, no matter which path you take, is about 30 to 40 minutes if you don't struggle. If you're a higher level player, you're probably going to be fine. Get it done in 30 minutes. Now, this is the first branching path you'll encounter. So, this is the battle that will determine if you get Tirtouga or Archen. So, let me just heal up. In this video, I will go for Tirtouga because I think that's one I usually go for. But I've been seeing people go for Archen. Yeah, I'll go Tirtouga. I will also note that whichever Pokemon you actually do end up getting, it is possible to get it as shiny as well. It's a low possibility, but it's a possibility nonetheless. So at the end of the day, you may very well end up with shiny Tirtouga or Archen. And the Tirtouga also has the ability to get HA. So there's 4 variations of Tirtouga you could get. You could get non-shiny, non-HA, non-shiny HA, shiny non-HA, and shiny HA. And And HA, of course, is hidden ability. Archen doesn't have a hidden ability, so that's not an option. So theoretically, shiny HA Tirtouga is the hardest combination to get. And again, fossil Pokemon. These first two are water typed, so Alakazam does its job. Grass Rock, yes. Which means I didn't hit it. Oh, I did hit it. Yeah, just do that. Get my stab bonus. And it didn't kill it. But yes, if you want to get Archen at the end of this quest, you can just lose this battle intentionally. You won't. This isn't a replayable battle. But if you want to get the Tirtouga, then you have to win this battle. It is also a future plan of mine to make future fossil quests for Generation 3 and Generation 4. Does Gen 2 have fossils? I don't think Gen 2 has fossils. But whatever the case, I know Generation 3 and Generation 4 do. But that's probably down the line, and I have other projects I'm going to work on. Plus, there's upcoming holidays that maybe there'll be some small quests for. Who's to say for sure? Oh, come on. I thought it'd be enough. Okay, that's winning the battle. Yes, there's a lot of dialogue in this quest, but I for the, I try to make quests that everyone will enjoy, and that means I have to go with the story aspect of it as well. And I personally like story in quests, so if you don't, sorry, deal with it. Um, be glad that you get mini quests, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so make your way to the town of Flight. For those of you who don't know, that means go to the flying type town. And if that still doesn't narrow it down, it means go to Breezelton. And now we approach our next path convergence. Sorry, divergence. So ask one of the denizens of Breezelton to see if any of them know of Frank's friend. So you can either go with the Beth path or you can go with the Sarah path. The Beth path doesn't involve a battle. It just involves running to bridge run to pick up an item. The Sarah path involves another 5 Pokemon to battle, but they're all grass or bug types, so they're easy enough to do. We're going to go with Sarah because that's the more interesting path, but it's this path doesn't matter to the story. It's just that you won't be able to interact with Beth now. I tried making them as equal as possible, so no path was easier than the other. While this path does involve a battle and the other one does not, the Beth path does have you running around a little bit more. So that's kind of the trade off. Now, this is easy enough if you have the warp or the ability to travel here through Rider. Twig is just right here, but if you have to walk here, then it's a little harder to just explore Green Home and find them here, but Twig is right here. I definitely enjoyed the idea of a not exactly choose your own adventure because it's still very structured, but that kind of general idea for a quest, being able to introduce chance or choice. So not every player doing this actually does the same quest. Granted, there's only 4 possibilities, so chances are you're still going to have most of the players ending up doing the same quest. But there's 4 possible routes you can take in this quest. And for the record, find a tree near the trainer gym. This is the trainer gym. I want to make sure my quest log updated because that was an issue before. Yes, it did. And as you see, these are all bug or grass types, so Cloyster will probably do its job fine. I was expecting something else there. But again, it's level 50, and they're generally the same type, so you should be safe. Fire, ice will do the trick. Oh, you're quicker. And as you saw, I didn't even shell smash for this. They're just they're easy enough to do. Yeah, it'll be neutral, but sure. Can't use Chandelure yet. Alakazam, because why not? Dang it. Okay. Well, doesn't matter. It might matter because of crunch. Oh, I'm quicker. Fantastic. Even with raised special defense. One more Pokemon. Fighting grass. Can I? No. I'm fighting, so I don't have psychic anymore. Oh, I forgot about flamethrower on this thing. Okay, that battle done. Now, here's something you may notice a difference on if you're on Bedrock. Bedrock players do not see the glow effect, so that's why I had to add the hologram here. But you click that specific spot on the tree to progress. Again, just some more dialogue to fill out the story a little bit. Also, while I don't exactly like when people do it, I do try to make battles so that you can get some XP from it. Because otherwise, you have to go off story quests, and if you've completed the story, what's left to do? So I try and make battles and have them as useful as possible. They mean something other than a story plot. Let's get back to Sarah in Breezelton. I should have specified that in my quest log. But if you do notice, Beth's not there anymore. So once I selected the Sarah route, Beth disappeared. And it's at this point now, now that the paths converge. So this is at the point where the Sarah path and the Beth path meet up again. So we are back on the first storyline. And let me just verify a quest log real quick. Yep, cool. Again, this is another battle, but this is something that everyone does. There's no matter what path you take, you'll always battle Laura. Everything healed. Yep. This usually does coil or something else before attacking. Sorry, my game's lagging a little bit, it looks like. I mean, again, there's nothing really special about these battles. They just introduce anniversaries and. Excuse me, sorry. They just utilize anniversary Pokemon. They're all level 50. It's supposed to be a mid tier quest. I can't bring myself to do anything that involves something with Shadow Pokemon or Legendary Pokemon yet, because that's got to be those have got to be quests that do something. I know neither of these are going to be effective. I'll just go for stab because I want if I make a quest that uses legendaries and allows the player to use legendaries, it has to be longer and offer something more. Like it has to feel like a reason legendary Pokemon are just being used willy nilly. Because the whole point is they're legendary. They're supposed to be rare. I don't know. Oh, that's not good. Speed boost. I didn't think that'd kill it. Alright, that's Laura's battle done. Also, these battles are set up so Pokemon do not rotate. So if you noticed in the main storyline quest, the Pokemon, the order in which they appear is randomized. So far, I've only done quests that are strict order. I may introduce that in later quests, but I didn't feel like it's been necessary at this point. But the next thing is climb to the top of the mountain on the outskirts of Breezelton. Follow the redstone at the entrance of the cave. So this is meant to guide you to the main quest 1 location. So everyone should be familiar with this area when I had it referencing the cave, and the redstone stands out. Obviously, it wasn't here before. This is added in for the quest. And only appears at this point. And it's a little bit of light parkour. I did not test it on mobile devices, but I did test it on console, and it is doable. Yeah, it's just jumping up a mountain. So it's easily accessible to hopefully everybody. Am I healed up? Yes, I am. The Firo uses return, if I remember correctly. Yep. And yes, I did have to add the mossy cobblestone. It doesn't have to be there, but otherwise you'd have to be crouched on this edge to click it, and that just wasn't viable. I don't know why I thought Rock Blast would be better in this situation. I was going for the flying type aspect, but Ice does the same thing. But again, these battles, other than the Laura battle and the Harrison battles are theoretically the hard battles because they don't use the same typings, and even then, Harrison uses rock types, fossils. Laura's is the only one that it she doesn't use a specific type. Because we have the water types picking up the cover fossil. You have the um, grass bug types that I showed you on the Sarah path. You have the flying types here. So generally, rock or ice will do the trick. And that's the end of that. Head back to Sandgate to talk to Harrison. Harrison's right there. Now, while these aren't the same paths, um, by definition, whether or not you have the Tirtouga or Archen path, it's still the exact same story. So both Tirtouga and Archen get the Sarah and Beth choice, and then return to Harrison here. So you're not missing anything else. If I had to do another video, it'd only be showcasing the Beth path. Everything else is the same. It's just the combination of which you do it. This is the Thick Club, by the way, what to be used on Cubone or Marowak. And obviously you have this time stamped, but I've now hit 34 minutes in the recording. And that's without losing any battles. This is a one-time through. That's as quick as I could possibly go. And that's without flying, too. So the wait time for this is 5 minutes. So I will keep here for 5 minutes talking to you. I don't feel like it's necessary enough to cut the video just to edit for 5 minutes. But yeah, once Frank comes back after 5 minutes, we'll get, in this case, the Tirtouga. It will be shiny or HA or not. make space in our party so we can see it. Oh yeah, make sure you have space in your PC. I know this is a little late, but if you're watching this point, you still have time. Make sure you have space in your PC. If you don't, the Pokemon's lost. So keep that in mind. But yeah, once that's over, you get the fossil. He gives you the Chanty Skull hat, which I will demonstrate, show it off. No, it's the other one. Come, it's this one. This is the Chanty Skull hat you get. And as you see, when it says Chanty Skull hat, it's referencing the skull the anniversary Chanty wears. I currently wear the shiny Chanty Skull hat, but the Chanty Skull hat normal is what the quest offers. I am interested to hear any feedback from anyone watching this. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably watching it as a guide video more than anything, so if you are doing it for that, what could be changed where you won't need a guide video? It's obviously, I'm still making quests. I'll try to make them improve and fun to play. Give some kind of content while we wait for bigger updates like survival in the future and Gen 1's revamp for PokeFind or PokeWorld and whatever else may occur in that time span. Like I said before, we have holidays with just as much potential as these last few months. We have St. Patrick's coming up, Easter as well at the end of the month. April Fool's Day falls within that time frame, so most likely we'll have the wild spawning anniversary Pokemon, or not anniversary, April Fool's Pokemon, which are just labeled as Cakemon. They're Pokemon with cake skins. There's some good skins in there. There's a Beldum. There's Beldum's the only one coming to mind. But a lot of stuff's happening end of March. Nothing really in April or May in terms of holidays, so we'll see what has to be produced at that point. I don't know what Dragon's talking about. Oh, he thinks I spawned one in. I get that. Got it. Alright, 5 minutes is up. We'll receive the Tirtouga here. It's not shiny or HA, so I got the most common one possible. And that is officially the end of Fossil Frenzy. If you enjoyed it, let me know. I'll be happy to hear any feedback or comments you may have. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.